There was a moment in the career of Justin Bieber that shocked fans around the world. At the height of his fame, when arenas were filled with screaming crowds and the spotlight followed him everywhere, the global superstar made a decision that many people didn't understand. He refused to perform on stage. For years, Bieber had been living a life that moved at lightning speed. From a small-town kid uploading videos online to becoming one of the most famous pop stars on earth, his rise was almost unbelievable. Fame, however, came with a heavy price. Endless tours, constant media pressure, and the expectations of millions began to weigh heavily on his shoulders. What people saw on stage was a confident performer. But behind the scenes there was a young man struggling to keep up with the pressure of being a global icon. At one point during his tour schedule, Bieber shocked fans and organizers when he decided he would not continue performing as planned. The decision was not about disrespecting fans or losing passion for music. Instead, it came from a deeper place: mental and emotional exhaustion. Performing night after night in front of massive crowds can be thrilling, but it can also become overwhelming when the artist feels disconnected from themselves. Bieber later revealed that he wanted to protect his mental health and find peace within himself. The bright lights, loud music, and endless expectations had started to make him feel drained rather than inspired. Rather than pushing himself to the breaking point, he chose to step back and focus on healing, faith, and personal growth. This moment became a turning point in his life. Instead of chasing fame at any cost, Bieber began rebuilding his life around balance and purpose. He spent time reflecting on his journey, strengthening relationships, and reconnecting with what truly mattered to him. Over time, fans began to understand that the decision was not weakness, it was courage. As time passed, the story behind why Justin Bieber once refused to perform on stage became clearer to the world. What many people first saw as a shocking or disappointing decision slowly revealed itself as something deeply human. The young star had spent nearly his entire teenage years under an intense spotlight, growing up in front of millions of watching eyes. Every mistake was magnified, every decision judged, and every moment of weakness turned into headlines. For Bieber, the stage had always been a place of excitement and connection. It was where he felt the energy of fans singing his songs back to him and where he could express himself through music. But at that difficult time in his life, the stage also became a symbol of pressure. The louder the crowd screamed his name, the more he sometimes felt alone behind the scenes. Fame had built walls around him that few people truly understood. During interviews later on, Bieber admitted that he was struggling internally. The exhaustion from touring, the emotional toll of constant criticism, and the pressure to always appear perfect had begun to affect his happiness. Many artists experience these challenges, but very few are willing to publicly pause everything to protect themselves. Bieber chose to do exactly that. Even though he knew the decision might upset some fans, what followed was a period of reflection and transformation. Bieber stepped back from the relentless cycle of touring and performing to focus on rebuilding his personal life. He spoke openly about finding strength in his faith, improving his mental health, and surrounding himself with people who truly cared about him rather than just his fame. These changes slowly helped him rediscover the passion that first made him fall in love with music. Over time, fans began to see a different version of Justin Bieber, one who was calmer, more mature, and more focused on living a meaningful life. When he eventually returned to music and performances,